good to see everyone. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. And looking forward to Christmas. One of the things that we did, and maybe some people wonder, how do we get to help so many people, especially on a shoestring budget? Mike has been over and seen where our facility was, working out of a 2-car garage. And many times people didn't see we had a 20-foot container. I don't know, God blinded people regarding that, because we got special permission from the city to have that there. But when you told people about it, they said, what container? I never saw any container. So that was a blessing. Then we had like 3 other sheds in the back there, and when we had recently a company came and called us and said, we have 25 pallets of cornflakes. So where do you want? And I go, wow, where are we going to put those pallets? So we put them on the street. And there they were until we had school districts come and pick them up. LA Unified School District partnered with us, their homeless division, about 5 years ago. They were the only food bank that they ever partnered with. And you wonder, wow, a Christian organization in LA Unified, that's God putting that together. And we just call up. I love LA. We call up. We have such a great working relationship with many of the schools. During COVID season, and moving from our 2-car garage, one of the person that was, how many know where Banner Carpet is? Let me. Okay, we're right behind Banner Carpet. How many know where LaSalle Plumbing used to be? So that's where we're located. And then recently we also, in the building that used to be called Aloha Dental, we leased that as well, just recently. And what we want to do with that building, we want to do life skills, and we called it New Challenge Ministries Fresh Rescue Food Bank Community Outreach Center. We've had to sublease it to half of the building to a person or an organization that is doing COVID testing, and they partnered with us. So they've already started COVID testing, free COVID testing, and it's one of the, if you saw over there at the Torrance YMCA, that's the group over presently now that's over with us. One of the things that I get the privilege of ministering and talking to people that are going through such a hard and challenging times, and I bet you all of us can raise your hands to know someone that is going through a hard time. Whether they got let go of their job, I can't tell you, just this past couple of weeks, how many people are going through a divorce. People are leaving their spouses, and the challenges that it has on the kids. We recently had a 10-year-old kid, and he was sitting there, and I found out that it was his birthday, and I go, oh, happy birthday. And he says, what's so happy about it? I go, well, it's your birthday. You know, aren't you going to do anything special? And he wouldn't answer for a while. And he looked up at me and he says, all I want is just to have something to eat. That's all, for me and my brothers and sisters. When you have kids like that, it brought me back to my childhood life. I understand what those words mean. I understand I've been in those shoes. And so it gives me a great honor and privilege to do what we're doing, not only here in the South Bay, but we help others because our food bank doesn't have a zip code restriction. Many food banks do. Many food banks are helped by the government. Ours isn't. And so one of the reasons why our food bank teamed up with LA Unified was because we only asked that many questions, which is a release of liability, and that's it, that people have to come in and sign. And then it also tells us how many people they're helping and how many's in their family. We just finished our Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. Last year we gave out over 500 turkey dinners. This year we gave out over 700 turkey dinners. And that was a mad rush because how many have heard the saying about the turkeys? There is not going to be any turkeys. And we had 500 stored up at Walmart. A week before, they called me and they says, we don't have 500 any longer. Well, how about 200? We don't have 200. Oh my gosh, now what we're going to do? So you quickly begin to think. Well, I went to pray. I said, okay, God, now what we're going to do? Well, use chickens. Somebody says, I got a contact to use chickens. At least somebody has something. And then we worked with others, and Restaurant Depot still had our 200 turkeys. Even Cathedral City, a church out there, heard about us, and they delivered 50 turkeys, and then another 100 came from Glendale. So we had over 350 turkeys and over 400 chicken dinners that we were able to help. One of the things that I got choked up about was when we work with the military, our military families. How many know that they need our help? They think, oh, the government will be able to help them, right? Many people feel that way. It's not true. Many have come from the Midwest and they come to California, and what happens? They get shocked of their lives to see how much the cost of living is. And so every holiday season, we have been able to help our LA Air Force and our National Guard. The National Guard in Torrance and the National Guard in Los Alamitos. And we bless them with, this year, over 300 turkey dinners. They showed me a picture of the LA Air Force. And they had people way in the back. We were going to show that to you in the video. And you can go to our website, www.newchallengeministries.com, and you can see our Thanksgiving Day event. And you can see where the Air Force families, once they announced it, there was a line, probably as big as this line, the block goes over a block, waiting for a turkey dinner and a chicken dinner. We had over 1,800 pies delivered to us from Jesse Lord's Bakery. So we collaborate with a lot of things. A lot of times, I mean, obviously, we have to raise the funds, or I have to raise the funds. I'm calling people, writing to people, and begging, asking, not stealing, but for funds. And it's quite challenging, especially when you're on a shoestring budget. The only people that are on our team is myself, and my wife gets a small stipend, and my son who does the delivery and picks up and brings it back, all the food, and sometimes Steve's on our budget. And But those are the challenges that we have. Working with people and a lot of people, they become demanding, right? You see, and I told my wife, I says, now we know that we're helping people. And she says, how's that? What's that? I said, well, when they came to us, and you can see a lot of them, they'll be crying, literally crying, because of their stories. No food, no help. And then all of a sudden, they're demanding, no, I don't want that, I don't want that. Because our food doesn't come from the government, it comes from Trader Joe's, Ralph's, Vons, Restaurant Depot, Amazon, a lot of good stuff. And so that's how I know that we're doing a great service. And so now we're getting ready for our toy giveaway, excuse me. I said drive because of Shelby Cars. Mike was there last year. And we're getting ready to partner with Shelby Cars and other groups that will give to the kids. And not only we sign up about 150 kids, but there's thousands of kids that we work with, other organizations. One of our partners, because of our relationship being there in the Harbor Gateway, is LAPD. And because of us, they have a program working with gang kids. And they in the beginning, only had a few, and they'll tell you this. They only had a few, but then they came and started getting snacks, candy bars, and things that were given to us. And now they're able to go into these gang areas, and these kids will listen. They'll sit down and listen. We have two of the LAPD on our board of directors. We have Aurelio Matucci, Torrance City Councilman, on our board of directors. We have Mark Warnick, the mayor of Lomita, on our board of directors. Just a few of the people that are on our board. So we're accountable to our board of directors. It's just not that we can do our own thing and that as well, but we make it such a part of it. Torrance Rotary has given to us. And Del Amo, right? Torrance Del Amo, we want to get that right. And so a lot of groups find out about us. And now that we're over at 190th and Crenshaw, many of those high schools are now involved with us. Torrance High School, West High, they're sending kids over to us. The West High cafeteria ladies, they brought food to us and gift cards for what we're doing. So South High, Redondo Union, they called us, they said, can we please send families to you that are hurting? So we're making I'm going all over, please forgive me, but one of the things to me, it isn't about the numbers. It isn't about how many we're serving and all that. I tell my team, it's about making a difference in somebody's life that day. If we're able to touch somebody's life, one person, then we made a difference. I thank Dean for allowing me to come and speak today. If you have any questions?
Thank you, first of all. Our brokerage just distributed to you guys 3-Leaf Realty.
What is it?
3-Leaf Realty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just brought a bunch of food.
Yeah, were you part of that?
Yeah, everybody in our brokerage contributed, so. But where do you guys get your funding, first of all, other than food, like donations, where do you get your funding? And then secondly, do you need anything other than food products? Do you need
Funding. One of the things that we have is a donor list where we probably got to have about 50 donors that give to us monthly that came over from when we switched. We lost a few donors when we switched from working with guys with life controlling problems to with the food bank. So that's how we receive. We don't have anyone to do grant writing except my wife just started. She has over 30 years of customer service, and I don't know if we shared about the wow. She has a thing called the wow factor. And one of the things that I was watching her and how she did things a lot different than I do. And I said, why do you do that? Why do you do that? She says, because, she says, many of these people don't want to are embarrassed to come to a food bank. You know? You want to wow them, you want to make them special. I said, I thought I was making them special. She says, yeah, but you go over. I go, oh, okay. And then another thing that she'll say, and she'll say, oh, it's so nice to see you. It's been a long time, and I'm looking at her like, I only saw him a couple times, you know? But that's the way that she does the wow factor. I said, wow, you wow me because I'm learning and from her and from her experiences that she brings over. You know, it's been challenging, it's been difficult where we're at. The first month that we were there, anybody know what happened to us? Fire. Somebody tried to start fire. It was an arson. And 2 weeks after we were there, they put, we had the Torrance marshal come out, fire marshal. He says, this is deliberate because there's no way they could have threw a match in there into your recycling and just started. And probably about 5 minutes later, we wouldn't have had the building. And then 2 weeks later after that, we get, what's the things that people were stealing or are stealing underneath your vehicles? Catalytic converters. And our Ford van not only had one, but it had four. So they got a mother load. And I didn't know that, how many we received or had. So there was a $3,000 damage to our old van. So we put the new van, we're parking it at our home now. So we didn't want to go through that scenario again, but I guess the older vehicles, it's a lot harder and challenging and difficult to get the catalytic converters. But I'm not going to test that market, you know. And then, you know, we have kids, just, you saw where the where the opening's up to the garage. We have a lot of the homeless. A lot of them are my kids' ages. And I'll ask them, how old are you? What school did you go to? Most of them went to North. Some of them know my kids. I go, for the grace of God, there goes my kids. You know? And it's somebody's kid that is out there. We have a lot of foster kids that are kicked out. A lot of abused. We collaborate with 40 other organizations, and we're going to give you some information about what those organizations are. But yes, 3Leaf was there. Thank you guys. And yes, not only canned goods, but we're going to collect blankets and coats because it's getting cold, and doing that kind of thing. And my good neighbor down there, he misses us. I miss the old setting too, you know, but where we're at, we're getting acclimated there and doing some great things. And when you come from a two-car garage to a building, we went in there and I said, oh my goodness, that's my office, because if you saw my other office, it's just right there. You come in and with the food, and there in the garage. Nothing fancy. And then where's my office, Steve? Still in the by the food in the corner. And so I don't have an office, have it at home, but I looked at the building and I said, wow, we have so much room. I can't wait to move in. And now we've outgrown that room. We've outgrown it. You know, upstairs, there's tons of stuff upstairs that we're blessed with. And, you know, we got a 500,000 face masks given to us. So we called the schools and they came and got some. And we called our Torrance Fire Department. They came and got, oh my goodness, they were blessed. So we collaborate, we help our community in more ways than just food. And that's why I call it more than just a food bank. We do so much more. So yes, thank you.